And it's gonna come to a point at a time of your life where you're gonna have to choose you first. You know, where you have to put yourself first, where you can't feel guilty of this, you can't care what they thinking. They gonna think you're not acting the same, you acting funny now. Whatever. It's time to pour into yourself first. Because a lot of times we just pour our energy into everybody else. We just pour our emotions and our feelings, and people crying on our shoulders, and people coming to stay with us, and we giving everybody our advice, and you ain't pouring nothing to you. You ain't giving yourself no self-care out here, because what you doing, you pouring in everybody else. You've been a blessing to many people out here. Many people just used you to cry on your shoulder. They used you to, just get a ride from them. You know what I'm saying? They used you for you can lift their spirit. They used you because they was mediocre and you made them feel good out here. Yeah. And that's what happens sometimes when you just filling everybody else cup up. You know what I'm saying? You making them feel good. You giving them energy. And what happened to you? You start getting drained for all your energy. You getting tired for no reason. You ain't got no good feelings about you no more all of a sudden. You got to start choosing you first. And sometimes we in these one-sided relationships with a girl, with a man, with a friend, with whoever it is you with. And you just pouring everything into them. They ain't reciprocating that energy back into you though. You know what I'm saying? And some of these people we got to get from around. Yeah, we got to really leave them and go another way. You know, you got to choose you first. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. Some point of your life, you're going to have to get selfish with your time. Get selfish with your emotions. Get selfish with your feelings. You ain't got time to be available to everybody no more because you're giving yourself that self-care. You know, you taking care of yourself now. How can you be your best for everybody out here if you just drained and everybody taking your energy from you? You can't, because you ain't got no feelings for you. You ain't got no self-care for you. And sometimes our health get gone from this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we lose ourselves because we're giving everybody that self-care. So you got to start working on yourself. You got to start making yourself feel better now. You got to start lifting your spirit up. And you got to just put yourself number one. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it gets tired of being a blessing to everybody. And you ain't the selfish type person. You give everybody everything. Anybody needs some time, you give it to them. Anytime that phone rings, you pick it up. Anytime somebody needed some money, you dropping it off. But what about you? You ain't filled your cup up. Sometimes we losing everything because we giving it to everybody else out here, though. Yeah. It's nothing wrong with filling up your cup first. There's nothing wrong with being there for you first. There's nothing wrong with being your best version of you. How can you support your kids and give them the right life and be the best version to them? How can you treat your woman right if you can't lift yourself up and you ain't got your spirit right? Because you pouring your energy into everybody else. That ain't right. So you got to not worry about what they saying. You got to not worry about what they think of you anymore. And sometimes these people go say, he ain't doing nothing for me no more. He don't pick up the phone for me no more. Yeah. Because you sick of getting drained by them. You know what I'm saying? You sick of getting tired of lifting them up, but when you needed them, they ain't nowhere to be found. You call them, they can't never pick up your phone call. But as soon as they get into some hell, as soon as they get into something, guess who there for them? You. Guess who pouring in their cup? You. Guess who get empty now? You. Now you ain't got nothing to give no more. Now you can't give your children nothing. You can't even give yourself nothing. Because you can't even be the best version of yourself because you giving and giving and giving to everybody. Yeah. So some point in our life, you gonna get to that point where you gonna have to be selfish with your time. And you can't feel no type of way about it. You have to be selfish with everything you got going on because you got to lift yourself up. You got to go to a new level. And sometimes it means leaving them behind. And sometimes it means not doing for them. And sometimes it just might be just delaying that relationship until you can get yours right. Because you know we can't turn our back on everybody. But sometimes you got to be your best version of yourself before I can pour into you now. I can't give you nothing if I'm empty. If I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no knowledge. I ain't got no advice because I'm drained. Yeah. So remember, people, it's no selfish thing. It's no sad act of kindness that you giving somebody. You ain't being rude. You just pouring in yourself. You just making sure you and yours right before you can pour into somebody else. Fill your cup up first. That's all I got. Motivation comes in many forms. Lamborghini Lamar.